Meteorologist Monica Woods from our sister station in Sacramento shows us how the farmers that grow our produce are dealing with the drought.
This ground is very productive, valuable ground, but without water, it's virtually worthless.
Bruce Rominger is a fifth-generation farmer in Winters, part of the Sacramento Valley in Northern California. It's the beginning of their tomato harvest, and they are already starting to think of next season as drought conditions grow.
If we have another dry winter, more and more of us are going to have zero surface water delivered to our farms. We're going to rely on groundwater, and the groundwater is going to be dropping, so we're all going to be in bad shape.
This would not just affect the state, but the whole country, since over a third of our vegetables and 2/3 of our fruits and nuts are grown in California. In fact, no other state comes close to the amount of food production. The last cash report shows California ranches and farms taking in $50 billion for their output. Iowa comes in second with $27 billion. California has a unique setup. The Central Valley is like a bathtub of sediment, creating highly productive land for growing, and ironically, no rain for months.
So we have this perfect climate for growing food where we don't have this rain in the summer, which will cause molds, but we have plenty of irrigation water to then irrigate them, and we put the water on exactly when we need.
To sustain this in a drier, warmer climate, a great deal of focus is shifting to water efficiency. Especially in California's dairy industry, the nation's leading dairy state, but a big consumer of water.
A cow producing milk would need to drink 30 to 50 gallons of water per day.
But Carly says California dairies are using 88% less water than 50 years ago.
So we'll see a drop of water on a dairy farm recycled and used up to 4 times before it actually leaves the dairy center and gets used as irrigation water for the farm's crops.
This is exactly the kind of innovation Samuel Sandoval is working to continue.
A lot of us, we think of the water that we use, specifically showers, washing the dishes, brushing our teeth. 80 to 90% of the water that we use, it's in your plate.
Sandoval is a water resources specialist at the University of California, Davis. He tracks how much water is used in each part of the plant life cycle, then develops better strategies for distribution. He says most farmers in California are doing a good job conserving, but there are still some overusing.
Imagine that you're running your credit card and you are in a huge debt. Here the problem is that the bank is not coming to take the credit card, not taking your credit or your a house. In some places in California, we've been running the credit card for more than 100 years.
Leading to huge water deficits. But by working with farmers, he sees a bright future as more are finding innovative ways to conserve water and natural solutions.
For instance, having cover crops or not letting the soil be bare soil, it will put some organic matter or it will fertilize naturally.
And at Bruce Rominger's farm on the edge of the California coastal range, letting the wild be wild.
We don't have enough water already in California. We're fallowing land. Why would we be putting more land into production? So we put quite a bit of our land, almost everything, into a conservation easement, which will prevent it from ever being planted to permanent crops. It's always going to be wildlands. There's always going to be wildlife up there.
All of this, he says, is part of a long-term plan, since across history, many strong agricultural societies lasted 70 generations.
And I'm thinking, wow, we think we're so smart and we have it all figured out in California. We've been here, 5 generations. Are we just messing it up faster than anybody ever has in the history of the world, or are we really going to be able to sustain this?